Hello, my follows, I hope you are doing well. Today, everyone who invests in cryptocurrency, he gain a big profit, and this profit it will count you? You know the reason of this. Listen this video. Dow Jones today, stock surge as Trump announces trade deal with UK, says more are coming. Bitcoin jumps above $100,000 for first time since February. By Stephen Wisniewski, updated May 8, 2025, 1:02 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Traders work on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, at the opening bell on May 8, 2025, in New York City. Traders work on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange on Thursday morning. Timothy A. Clary/AFP/Getty Images. 7 reasons you haven't received your tax refund. Close. Stocks moved sharply higher Thursday following news that the U.S. has reached a trade agreement with the United Kingdom, as President Donald Trump said that more deals are on the way. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 were each up 1.6% in recent trading, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite added 2%, with each of the major indexes trading at their highs of the session. Stocks were coming off a winning session on Wednesday after 2 consecutive days of declines as investors looked for signs of progress on trade deals amid hopes that Trump will soften his stance on tariffs. Trump said in a social media post this morning that the agreement with the UK is full and comprehensive. The president also said in the post that many other deals are in serious stages of negotiations. Speaking later during a press conference to discuss the UK agreement, Trump said that he expects to reach a deal with the European Union. The trade deal with the UK comes ahead of highly anticipated talks, scheduled for Saturday in Switzerland, between US and Chinese officials. The two countries have imposed tariffs of more than 100% on one another, effectively halting trade and sparking concerns about the likelihood of product shortages and rising inflation. During the Thursday morning press conference, Trump said that he expects the discussions with China will be substantive and that tariffs on Chinese imports could be lowered. Shares of the world's largest technology companies were higher across the board, led by a gain of more than 4% for EV maker Tesla, TSLA. Alphabet, GOOG, was up 2.5% after plunging more than 7% yesterday following reports that Apple is looking to add AI-powered search options to its Safari browser, a move that could erode Google's share of the online search market. Apple, AAPL, shares gained 2%. Chipmakers NVIDIA, NVDA, and Broadcom, AVGO, which surged late yesterday on news that the Trump administration plans to ease trade restrictions on semiconductors, were up 1% and 2%, respectively. Microsoft, MSFT, Amazon, AMZN, and Meta Platforms, Meta, each advanced more than 2%. Among other noteworthy tech sector movers, shares of AppLovin, App, jumped 13% after the ad tech company late Wednesday announced the sale of its mobile game business alongside first-quarter earnings that topped analysts' expectations. ARM Holdings, ARM, was down 5% after the chip designer issued an outlook that missed expectations on the top and bottom lines. Crypto-related stocks jumped as the price of Bitcoin surged above $100,000 for the first time since February. Strategy, MSTR, the world's largest corporate holder of Bitcoin, was up 7%, while crypto exchange Coinbase Global, Coin, added 7% and Bitcoin miner Mara Holdings, Mara, jumped 8%. Bitcoin was at $101,200 recently, up from an overnight low of $96,100. Gold futures were down 2.3% at $3,315 an ounce, losing ground for the second straight day, while West Texas Intermediate futures, the U.S. crude oil benchmark, rose 3% to $59.80 per barrel, continuing a volatile run for the commodity amid economic uncertainty. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note, which affects borrowing costs on all sorts of loans, notably mortgages, rose to 4.35% from 4.28% at yesterday's close. The U.S. dollar index, which measures the performance of the dollar against a basket of foreign currencies, was up 1% at 100.60. Crypto stocks jump as Bitcoin surges above $100,000. 12 minutes ago. Crypto stocks got a jolt Thursday as the price of Bitcoin climbed above $100,000 for the first time since early February. Bitcoin was at $101,000 recently, up from an overnight low around $96,000, as investors welcomed news of a trade agreement between the U.S. and UK and the prospect of more deals. President Donald Trump said Thursday that many other deals are in serious stages of negotiations, and expressed optimism that progress would be made in talks between U.S. and Chinese officials over the weekend. The latest developments on trade provided a boost to risk assets broadly, as U.S. stocks also surged. Investors have been looking for concrete signs of progress on trade talks amid concerns that the tariffs the Trump administration has proposed will cause economic growth to stall. Shares of cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase, Coin, were up 6% in early afternoon trading, while Strategy, MSTR, the Bitcoin buyer formerly known as MicroStrategy, added 7%. Bitcoin miners Riot Platforms, Riot, and Mara Holdings, Mara, climbed 7% and 8%, respectively. Bitcoin hit a record high of around $109,000 ahead of Trump's inauguration in January amid optimism that the new administration would adopt policies to benefit the crypto industry. Trump has made efforts to be seen as a pro-crypto president, including signing an executive order in March that laid the groundwork for a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a broader U.S. digital asset stockpile. However, Bitcoin stumbled in recent months, along with the U.S. stock market, as concerns about the potential impact of Trump's trade policy weighed on risk appetite. With today's rally, Bitcoin has risen about 33% from its early April low of $76,000. Andrew Kessel. Cleveland-Cliffs stock dives as steelmaker idles some plants. 1 hour 21 minutes ago. Cleveland-Cliffs, CLF, shares tumbled Thursday, a day after the steelmaker announced it was cutting back on production and capital spending in an effort to improve operations. The company said it will fully or partially idle 6 facilities to optimize its footprint, reposition away from loss-making operations, and release excess working capital. The moves are expected to save more than $300 million a year, with additional savings in overhead and improved productivity at its other factories. In addition, Cleveland-Cliffs will no longer be investing in the development of a transformer production facility in Weirton, West Virginia, due to changes in scope from the project partner that no longer meet Cliffs' investment requirements. CEO Lorenzo Goncalves said that the company's first quarter results were hurt by non-core assets and the lagging effect of lower index prices in LAR aimed at streamlining the business and enhancing efficiency. In the quarter, Cleveland-Cliffs reported an adjusted net loss of 92 cents, with revenue up 7% year-over-year to $4.63 billion. Analysts polled by Visible Alpha expected a net loss of 83 cents on revenue of $4.62 billion. In January, CNBC reported that the company was teaming up with rival Nucor, NUE, for a potential bid for U.S. Steel, X, whose $14.1 billion buyout by Nippon Steel was blocked by President Joe Biden. CEO Michel Doukeris said that the consistent execution of AB InBev's strategy drove a solid start to the year and reinforces our confidence in delivering on our outlook for 2025. Thank you for watching my video.